Joe.
And I'm Mary.
And we're Book Buds.
And today we're going to hear about The Bells by Richard Harvell. Joe read this one. Tell us about it, Joe.
What a fantastic book.
Yeah?
Yeah, so my friend recommended this to me like years and years ago.
Okay.
And I
Joe
saw
takes
it.
his time to get to recommendations. I've
Like
experienced this too.
This was like over a decade ago. Like well over a decade ago.
Love it.
And I found it one day at a library like sale, or they were discarding it or whatever. And I grabbed it. I'm like, oh, this is the book that was recommended to me. And I've held on to it for years and years and years. It's gone with me through many houses, whatever.
I love it.
So this past holiday season, as I think I mentioned briefly, I just read a lot of Christmas stories, and I was like bored and frustrated and sick of them. So I got in this mood right at the end of the year to read a real heavy like book. And not that this is like super long, but I have heard that it's like a heavy read.
Okay.
So I saw it on the shelf and I'm like, it's time. The time has come. Okay. And I was just all in. So I absolutely loved it. It's definitely a 5-star. And this was my first book that I finished of 2025. So this is the book to beat.
Okay.
Dare I say it could be my favorite of the year because it was just that good.
Wow.
I mean, I only read one book this year. So we have a lot of contenders on the way, but we're going to see how that stacks up a year from now.
We're probably putting this out in like February or March, but we're filming in January, guys.
Yes.
Sorry.
Sometimes we take a while.
We do.
Okay, so this takes place in the Swiss Alps in the 1700s. Okay, and we have a church, and they have a bell tower and a belfry with the loudest and the biggest bells in all the land. And the only person who could ring these bells is this girl who is deaf, and she's like an outcast from society. And so she hasn't really had that great of a life. So when she hits these bells with the mallet, like she feels this vibration, and it is just like it opens up a whole new world for her. She absolutely loves this job, and she's up there living her best life, banging these bells with the mallet.
Cool.
Okay. So then some shady stuff happens. She gets pregnant. She has a son. Everybody thinks that the son is deaf too because he's just up there in the belfry, chilling with his mom, not being impacted by these bells. And when these bells ring, it's funny. Everybody in the town is like horrified because it is so loud, and they're like irritated by it. And it's like you can't be in close proximity because it's like deafening.
Yeah.
It hurts. So like, how's this kid
being
standing
up there ringing that, like,
with the newborn and then the kid who's grown up? So one day, something happens, and the priest discovers that this boy is not deaf, and he freaks out. Because, everybody's talking in front of him all these years, and like, now he like has some information, I guess. And so they go to kill the mother and kill him.
Kill them?
Kill them!
The priest wants to kill them?
I don't remember the exact details of who did the dirty work, but yeah,
like word traveled.
It was those people. No, it was the people in the church. So 2 monks that just happened to be walking by saved this little boy and discover him, and like one of them like kind of like adopts him as like his son because he's like really connected with him and just wants to protect this little boy. So they rescue him and they take him home to their monastery.
Okay.
And they discover that he can sing.
Oh.
So he's singing with them and chanting with the monks. That's what they do, right? Some of them were into that. The choir.
Are we insulting?
No, we're not. We're not.
They chant, they sing.
Yeah, right? So, okay, here we go into like the heavy part of this.
Okay.
Right? Not that it hasn't been heavy already. The kid lost his mother. So what they used to do back in the day, and I love historical fiction for this reason because, you learn so much, and then I Googled it and I was reading up on it. So they castrated this young boy to preserve his voice and to turn him into like this, he has this high soprano voice, and it's called the castrati.
Wow.
They're turned into like the castrati.
How old was he? He was still young?
Preteen, because they wanted to stop puberty. So some think that he's like an angel, and in some circles, and then others think that he's like an abomination.
Wow.
So his life just got a whole lot harder.
Yeah.
And this is a thing that they used to do. The Catholic Church only started condemning this in like the late 19th century.
Wow.
Which wasn't too long ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, and then we just have his life, and it goes into his adulthood, and it follows him, and there's like a little bit of like a like romance type of thing, but it's just tragedy after tragedy, and following this young man into his life, and now he's just has all these obstacles to overcome, and he gets separated from his friends that rescued him, and it's just a lot. So heavy, very heavy read, but I was in it the whole time.
Yeah.
And I just followed it through and just loved every moment of it, and ooh, was it good.
Wow.
So this novel really just cemented the fact that humans, we can celebrate them, and we can just be disgusted because we create such beautiful things, and then here we go and we like, you know, destroy and maim and dishonor humanity in other ways, and it's just, you know, it's one of those things. So I think I would recommend this book to anybody who likes historical fiction. I think that they would enjoy it. Fantastic story. Very different from anything I've ever read.
Yeah. Is this something you guys think you might want to read?
And if you're enjoying Book Buds, give us a thumbs up.
Share us with your friends.
And subscribe to our channel, Book Buds!
I read this book too. It was stupendous. Let's chat about it.
Richard Harvell.
Yeah.
Okay. Harvell, like Carvel.
Right. Ooh, now I want Carvel. Is that stupid?
No.
I mean, it's called The Bells. I think we should have The Bells if we can have The Bells. I just said bells a lot.
I want to watch you swing. I feel like I want to swing on the library building because, yeah. Oh, I'm going to be that excited?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to like toss around like with joy?
Yes, toss around with joy.
Okay.